One of the most well-known examples of extinction by human beings is the dodo bird. It narrates a story of a flightless bird that lived on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, which caught the attention of people everywhere. One of the most tragic examples of how human activity had altered the face of the earth is the account of dodo extinction in the 17th century. This video explores the historical and biological aspects of the dodo, followed by the events that led it to extinction and lessons learned. The dodo, whose scientific name is Rhapis cuculatus, was a flightless bird only found on the island of Mauritius. This bird is close to pigeons and doves because it shares a common ancestor with them millions of years ago. The conditions in which it lived isolated on Mauritius and had no natural predators predispose how it came to be and how it acted. The very first information on the dodo was made known to the world through Dutch sailors when they arrived on Mauritius in the late 16th century. The sailors described the dodo as big, flightless, with a thick body, large hooked beak and small, vestigial wings. The bird, in its appearance, appeared clumsy and awkward, and it is this reason why the term dodo became synonymous for foolishness or simplicity. The dodo was a large bird, measuring 1 meter in length, or 3.3 feet. Its weight was between 10 to 18 kilograms, or 22 to 40 pounds. Its feathers were gray and brown, and the tail had a curly tuft. Its most obvious feature was a large hooked beak, which the bird used as a food-questing tool. Since it could not fly, the dodo had developed powerful legs and feet to move about in the thick forests of Mauritius. Its wings were short and not really useful in flying, but may have been used to help with balancing or to show when mating was in season. The dodo mainly consumed fruits, seeds, nuts, and possibly small bugs. It must have played a great role in the ecosystem by dispersing seeds and keeping plant diversity. With human arrival, the first decline of dodos happened. The first visitors to the island were Portuguese in the early 16th century and later Dutch in the late 16th century. Early explorers brought many problems, both directly and indirectly, for dodos. Right away, the greatest threat would have been hunting. It is quite obvious that the dodo was not threatened by man until the 16th century, and so had nothing to fear. So it was easily hunted for fresh meat by the sailors. Although some of the original accounts do indicate that the meat was quite tough and unpalatable, it would still feed starving sailors. Besides hunting, the non-native animals introduced to Mauritius totally exterminated the dodo population. These animals were pigs, rats, dogs, and cats that sailors brought along and soon occupied the island. They consumed dodo eggs and baby dodos that were born on the ground because those babies were very weak against attacks. The dodo had never faced natural predators before, so it did not have any ways to protect itself from these new dangers. All these factors, coupled with hunting, habitat destruction, and introduction of invasive species, had led to a sharp decline in the population of the dodo. The reports of the dodo started becoming scarce in mid-17th century. The last confirmed report of a live dodo is in 1662. Towards the end of the century, the bird had been declared extinct. We do not know exactly when the dodo disappeared because there were few good records back then, but most historians agree that it was gone from Mauritius by late 1600s. That is less than 100 years after the dodo first saw humans.